Hi, friends. This is attorney Marina Shepelsky coming to you live. Today is Black Friday, everyone. So happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you have lots to be thankful for wherever you are in the world and wherever you're watching me. I'm always happy to have you guys here. Today's today's show is going to be about the latest immigration news, and of course, the biggest news of the last 2 weeks is that the Congress part called House of Representatives released the proposed bill for reconciliation, for budget balancing, and included $100 billion in there for legalizing undocumented immigrants. They called the new proposal Build Back Better Act. The whole law is called that. And of course, that's a law that has to do with balancing our federal government's spending and checkbook for next year, putting money aside for various federal programs. And they had included some form of legalization in there, although it wasn't the full pathway to citizenship that I was hoping for and that all of you were probably hoping for. They did include some good things that would be a welcome gesture in the world of immigration. But before we get into all of that, and I can tell you what's going on since November 19th when this was first released, let me tell you about my very sad Thanksgiving. Well, my friends, I have COVID. I've been in bed since Monday. I basically now is the first time I got up since Monday because I couldn't let you guys down. And I have another Russian live show at 12 o'clock later today on Facebook. So this whole week I've been psyching myself up so that I could be up and doing the show, and I'm here. I put on makeup. I was basically sitting in quarantine in my room. On Tuesday morning, I had a special antibody infusion. I had to go to the hospital. They gave me some blood plasma with antibodies. And believe it or not, it's been much better since then. My fever's gone. My aches are gone. But I still have very much, like, I'm still weak. I have a lot of weakness. I can barely move. I can barely talk. But I'm really excited to do the show with you guys. And I'm really excited about the news. So that's why I got myself out of bed, dressed up, put on my makeup. I said, I'm a lawyer. I'm a public advocate for immigrants out there. This is what I do. People are counting on me. I'm not going to cancel my show. So here I am. I hope you guys enjoy it. Maybe it's not going to be one of my finest moments, but I'm going to give it my best. And I'm probably going to keep it to like 25 minutes today because I don't know if I can do even a half hour. So, since the passing of the proposal for this new law, the Senate parliamentarian met with Democrats earlier this week about the immigration provisions, and she did not rule out completely. She didn't strike them out completely. She said it might be okay to include. I think they're still negotiating on what's going to be included, what's not, and I will in a few minutes go over the provisions they released. It doesn't mean that these provisions will become law, but it does mean that they're talking about keeping them in this law. Okay, so nearly half of all House Democrats, though, since then, this Monday, so a week later, said it's not enough. They want to go back to making this into a full pathway to citizenship. That the parole provisions, which only would give people 5-year status and only temporary status, is not enough. The Democrats in the House said we should try to make this into a full-blown green card thing. And let's include, as we promised before, the farm workers, the essential workers who helped our nation fight COVID. Let's include those people. We promised the dreamers. We promised the TPS people green cards. Let's not stop at this temporary 5-year parole. We have the ability to make this into something that's really going to make a difference. Let's make this into a green card provision, a pathway to citizenship. But of course, it's all just in the discussions right now. Remember, Republicans were not for this. This was almost completely done by Democrats. And for this to pass Senate, we need Republicans to agree to this law, okay? So let's go over the immigration provisions of this new Build Back Better Act, or BBB, as some people are calling it in the press, okay? The immigration provisions are as follows. Number one is that there will be 5-year temporary parole work permits and non-deportable status for people, which is around 7 million, they're saying. Approximately 7 million undocumented immigrants who came to the United States before, not after, but before January 1, 2011. So some people have been confused with the language. Some lawyers are saying it's after. No, it's before. So anybody who came into the United States before January 1, 2011 will be able, if this passes Senate, to get 5-year work permits and non-deportable deferred action status, okay? Now, of these people, about 1.5 million have some relatives or family members who have citizenship or green cards and can help them legalize and get a green card. But this is only for 5 years and only temporary parole. A parole is a temporary status to come and stay here. Green card visas numbers. So visa numbers are the quotas every year that Congress releases for immigrant visas. So it's like for family unification, green cards, for green cards to work. And this new law would allow to recapture, use the visas that weren't used up since 1992. And there's a lot of them. So whatever the quotas didn't use, never issued, they're still available theoretically. They are deciding to use these as follows. They will take some employment-based green card applicants who have been waiting for a work green card, okay? People who have filed and sitting in backlog over 2 years will be able to pay a $5,000 expediting supplemental fee or like a penalty fee, and will waive the annual and per country quota limitations to skip ahead of the line and become green card holders using those recaptured visas, okay? What's more interesting for just regular people who are not waiting for employment petitions, they're also including family-based applicants who have been waiting over 2 years and have to pay a $2,500 supplemental fee to expedite and skip ahead of the line. So if you are waiting as a beneficiary of a family petition more than 2 years and you're stuck in the backlog and you couldn't legalize before this, if this law passes, you'd pay the $2,500 and be able to file for a green card right away. And finally, something that a lot of people were asking me about is the green card people who won their green cards through the diversity lottery, okay? A lot of people participated in the diversity lottery and won and even went to an interview. But because of Trump's provisions and travel bans during COVID pandemic, they could never have come here. They didn't come, they didn't get their visa sometimes, or maybe they did, but they couldn't enter because of travel bans and COVID-related financial assistance stuff. And now, if this law passes, they will be able to come in because the Trump travel bans will be reversed. So it's still unclear to me whether or not these provisions are going to become final. The Republicans are not on board. I'm reading press going both ways now. There's a lot of articles by conservatives, by Republicans who are writing that this is not a good way to legalize undocumented immigrants. Why are we rewarding everybody who's just sitting here illegally? This is going to attract even more people to come to the southern border and just come here, because this new law will be like a beacon saying, come here to America, people. So some people are against it, but there are many advocates for immigrants like myself who are very much in support of this law if this becomes law. And of course, I would definitely support this going a little bit back and becoming not just temporary parole, but actually some sort of a green card pathway, a pathway to citizenship. So let's see what happens. I don't have any answers right now about whether, like, people who have old orders of deportation, they will be included. What about people with PD, prosecutorial discretion? Are they going to be included? What about people who are not here, but they're overseas? I don't have all the answers yet. I'm just talking about the news of this law being discussed in Congress today, okay? So I'm going to get to the comments now and start saying hello, as is usually my fashion. Alexander says hello, hi, good morning. Gero says hi, dear lawyer. Hello, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And by the way, drop me some comments about how your Thanksgiving went. And today is Black Friday. Is anybody out there shopping? I personally hate to shop on the holidays. Because of COVID especially, and of course this year I can't leave the house, but I have been ordering some things online and on Amazon. My kids are going to the mall in a few hours for a little bit, okay, because I can't keep them home anymore, and we all have the home COVID tests, and they're testing themselves every day, and so far my family, they're all negative for COVID. So let's see what happens. Hi, Marina, says Darren Kami. Evelyn says she needs a ride. Okay. Bharat says hi. Hi. Darren Kami says, I hope you feel better. Oh, thank you so much. So much. Marie Clay says, I still look gorgeous. I put a lot of work into this, and my hands were shaking. I couldn't even do my eyes today. Dapo says, can I file for an I-765? That's a work authorization application. If my I-130 petition is still pending at the BIA. No, the answer is no. Alexander says, hello, Marina, may I ask a question? Yeah, of course you can ask a question. Have you met or heard when a person without a citizenship received a green card through the court? Person who came through the U.S. by passport of the USSR refused Russian citizenship. USSR doesn't exist. You can probably consider, if you have children born in the United States, or a spouse who's a green card holder or U.S. citizen, something called cancellation of removal. But if you have an old deportation, there's no way you can do that. Ivan says, I came in 2014 and overstayed a visa. But I was here at 2010 for 5 months, 2011 for 5 months by J visa, in 2012 and 13 by C1D, that's a crewman visa, as a crew member. Am I able to apply for work permits if I pass? I think you should give us a call. We're going to be calling everybody back Monday, I think. I think my team might be out today. I told everybody they can be off because it's a holiday weekend, but you can definitely leave us a message and we'll call you and schedule a consultation with our team. It's hard to say. Alexa says, will you qualify if you got deported in March 2011 and returned in May 2011? I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't know yet, Alexa, sadly. Piero says, if NVC rejected my 1040 form, that's the income tax return form, and asked for wage and income transcript, IRS 2020, by mistake, I had the transcript return. IRS, how? I don't know. Okay, so I see that you're working on your visa through the NVC. They definitely need transcripts to prove your income for 2020, because 2020 is the last financial year for which you file tax returns. And you can call IRS or go online and download your IRS transcript, and then you would have to upload it to the NVC CEAC account. He's asking if you can add wages and income transcript and additional documents. AOS is for affidavit support. Is it okay? They're just looking for your transcript of your tax return. That's what they're looking for, okay? Because that has every income that you have. After VAWA, when we get prima facie definition, you mean after you file VAWA? Okay. When you file VAWA, if you include with your initial package your criminal clearances, the signed forms, a short declaration, and some proof of, some basic things in the VAWA package, you will usually get the prima facie approval very quickly, within 30 days. If you don't get it initially, you can add that initial evidence later on, and you should get it shortly too. Your lawyer can write a letter requesting it. If you'd like help with that, and if you don't have a lawyer, we'll be happy to help. Darren Kemi says, I filed for asylum last year in July, then applied for work permit in April 2021, done interview, was referred to immigration court for August 2022 next year. Is there any hope of getting EAD before then? I overstayed. I think you have, yeah, absolutely. You should file and you'll get your work permit before then. I think you have hope. Hi, please, can someone whose asylum proceedings has been terminated by immigration judge benefit from reform? I came here in 2020. So if your case was terminated, I don't know what that means. So you just for whatever reason, your proceedings were terminated. I'm not sure. I don't have all the details. And if you came here before January 1, 2011, it looks like if this reform passes, you will be included. So yeah, I definitely think you'll be okay. Mahmeen says, I came on H-1B visa, but since last 10 years, I'm out of status. I have citizen child, and Indian embassy lost my passport. Can I apply for green card and I have a copy of my passport? So you don't have your passport. The problem with this is, and I see this in a lot of different kind of cases with immigration, is that you need to do biometrics. Without ID, they might not let you do your biometrics for asylum, for marriage case, for really almost any kind of case. So this is where I see the problem with having no passport. It's the biometrics. When you go do your fingerprints, biometrics, they need ID. And if you don't have a passport, they're not going to take a copy. Stella says, please read my comment. I came to US as a student in 97. I overstayed and then left for my country in 2019. Can I still apply through EB3? I think if you tell them the truth, that you were here this long, overstaying, that many years, which is what, 3 plus 9, 22 years, they might not let you in. So I don't know if it's worth spending all that money on the EB3 visa. Can I get a work permit if my asylum case is pending? Yes, you can. I entered US legally on December 2010. Can I apply for parole if the BBB, the Build Back Better law passes? Is it only for undocumented or for documented to get a parole? This is a good question. It looks like you came in time, and this parole is for anybody who came with a visa or without a visa. So I think you'll be in good shape if this passes, okay? Armen says, hi, does this law determine any extra fees for recaptured DV visas? Thank you in advance. They haven't said any special fees for the DV visas, so I don't think there's going to be any additional fees, but we'll see. Jasmine says, my paternal uncle has applied, petitioned the family-based F4 for my father and approved in 2014. He's eligible for faster processing of petition by paying $2,500 if this will pass. Oh, so the question is, there's a family petition of a brother filing for brother. It was already approved and they've been waiting. Is he eligible for faster processing? I think so. But the problem is, and a lot of people are asking me this, if somebody is outside of the United States or inside the United States but overstayed and they're sitting and waiting, they need some kind of a waiver. This is not going to forgive unlawful presence. They haven't said anything about forgiving unlawful presence. It just says that you get to skip the line. I don't know how this is all going to play out. And even if you're eligible, if the fact that you pay the $2,500 will fix being out of status for a long time, I don't know. So we'll see. Okay. Hi, I came here in 2019 and renewed my green card in 2020, May, and I have allowed to travel. Is it okay if I travel? You have a green card, right? Is it expired? If you have an expired green card and you file to renew it, I don't recommend traveling without the newly valid green card. Like if you travel and your green card is expired, they will give you trouble about coming back, you know? So I don't know, if you haven't received yet the green card with the correct new expiration date, like if it's already expired, you shouldn't travel. You should wait. My case is still pending at the BIA since last year, 2020, September. Do you have any idea how long? It's going to take a while. Everything is super delayed right now. Depo says, how long it will take to get a reply? Oh, for the BIA appeal? I'm telling my clients, don't be surprised if it takes 3 to 3.5 years to get a reply. Solo says, can you be undocumented over 10 years and married to abusive husband? I mean, yes, you can, and you can file for VAWA if your abusive husband is a green card holder or a U.S. citizen. So you are undocumented in an abusive marriage, living with a spouse who's either a green card holder or citizen. Yes, we can help you legalize through VAWA. Give us a call. My phone number is on the bottom of the screen. Wonder Good says, my asylum case is in 9th Circuit. Can I get a work permit? Oh, it's an appeal now. If your asylum case is in the stage of appeal, you will not get a work permit yet. Iqbal says, can pending asylum applicant adjust their status if sponsored on employment basis without going outside of America as someone is not able to go to his country? This is a complicated question. If you are waiting for asylum, that means you've been here for a long time. And all this time that you're waiting, if you cancel your asylum case, it's like you're illegal here all that time. So no, I don't think you'll be able to get the work situation going through for a green card. I think you just have to keep waiting for your asylum case. Ramuald says, I came to the U.S. before 2011, but I have traveled back home recently and then overstayed my recent visa. Can I apply for the parole? If you haven't been here continuously since 2000, since before 2011, I'm not sure how this is going to play out. It looks like this is for somebody who came here before 2011 and stayed here. Jasmine says, is the super fee only for the people inside the U.S.? It looks like yes. Yes, that's how they're going to apply it. Armin says, if this law passes, which is the time usually needed to start to run? Thank you one more time. Well, if they pass, they will have to put it on the books. It's going to take some time, and they're going to start accepting petitions, hopefully within a couple of months. We'll see. Chejo says hi, and thank you so much. Brian says, hi, Marina. Do you know why the Texas Processing Center is processing adjustment of status EAD so slowly compared to the National Benefit Center? I think the Texas Center is super, super busy and overwhelmed. They're a big processing center, and they're usually pretty slow, I have to say. Glorin says, I had applied for EB2 National Interest Waiver in April 2021, Texas Processing Center. Does it really take 1 to 2 years for decision, as the website says? These times that they're putting on the websites are new. Okay, so the website processing times are new. They updated them to make them look super, super long. I don't think, I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's going to take you that long to hear back from them, but it does take a while. Usually takes about a year. So just be patient, you know. Okay. Obang says, hi, please, can someone who is in asylum proceedings has been administrative close benefit from this reform? I don't know yet. We'll see if this will affect everyone or only for people who never been through court. Okay, now, when you have your asylum proceedings administratively closed, they're like frozen. They're not really closed for good. They're not like terminated. So it's as if you are still in immigration court, but just on pause. So we'll see how this plays out. Wondergood says, if my case is in the Ninth Circuit, can I appeal my asylum case in more upper court? No, you have to wait for the decision from the Ninth Circuit. And my final question for today is from Sunny. If I get parole and later can apply for employment-based green card, will there be any problem to get a green card? If it's employment-based, you have to show that you never had unlawful presence. And if you had unlawful presence, I think it's going to be a problem, even if you have this temporary parole. So as I mentioned, this new BBB temporary parole is not going to fix the problem of overstaying visas, being here out of status, and unlawful presence. The unlawful presence is the one that triggers the bans, the bars, and it's not going to help. Okay, I end on this note, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful to have you guys watching and following and, accepting our work. If you like this video, remember, I came to work sick for you. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I do this because I love to do it. Remember, I love to talk about the news. I love immigration law. Give us a call if you have a complicated situation. This show is not intended for me to give legal advice, but to give information only, and educational information, if at that. So give us a call. Our phone number is on the bottom of the screen. Become a subscriber to this channel. Give me a like and drop me a comment about how you spent your Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great afternoon. Happy Black Friday. Happy shopping if you're shopping.